Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Powerful Stoic Way. If you're new here, I'm so glad you've joined us today. In a world where relationships can often feel like a roller coaster, full of ups, downs, and everything in between, how do we find real stability? How can we build a strong foundation with our partners when everything around us seems uncertain? Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today. In today's video, we're unlocking the timeless wisdom of Stoicism to help you build a relationship that isn't just surviving, but thriving, no matter what life throws your way. If you want to discover how to embrace patience, focus on what you can control, and create deeper trust in your relationship, then keep watching. Before we jump in, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an episode that helps you live a more powerful, resilient life. Let's get started. Number one, focus on what you can control, the dichotomy of control. The first step towards stability in relationships is understanding the dichotomy of control, a key concept in Stoic philosophy. According to Epictetus, some things are up to us and some things are not. This simple yet profound statement can radically change how we approach conflicts and challenges in relationships. The dichotomy of control is the idea that some aspects of life are within our control, while others are not. In relationships, this means recognizing that while we can control our own actions, emotions, and responses, we cannot control our partner's feelings, behavior, or reactions. When we try to control things that are beyond our reach, like how our partner thinks or reacts, we create unnecessary stress and frustration. Instead, Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, our own responses and actions. Let's consider a common scenario in relationships: disagreements. It's easy to fall into the trap of wanting to control the outcome, especially if we're passionate about being right. But by focusing on controlling our own behavior, such as how calmly we approach the situation, we can achieve a much more constructive outcome. For example, if your partner forgets an important date or doesn't follow through on a promise, you can't control their actions. However, you can control how you respond. Instead of reacting with anger or resentment, you can choose to express your feelings calmly and constructively. By doing so, you avoid escalating the situation and maintain emotional stability. Acceptance is a crucial aspect of applying the dichotomy of control. It's important to accept that your partner will have their own views, preferences, and behaviors, which may sometimes differ from your expectations. Stoicism teaches us to acknowledge this reality without judgment. A wise Stoic mindset allows us to be at peace with the things we cannot change, while also working toward improving our own behavior and reactions. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." In practical terms, this means acknowledging that your partner's choices are outside of your control and reframing your expectations. If your partner doesn't communicate in the way you want or forgets an important moment, instead of feeling upset, you can remind yourself that you have the power to choose your response. This is where true emotional freedom and stability begin. Imagine you've planned a special evening, but your partner gets caught up with work and arrives late. In this scenario, your instinct might be to feel neglected or unimportant, but through the lens of Stoicism, you can see this as an opportunity to practice emotional resilience. You might ask yourself, 1. Is this situation within my control? 2. How can I respond to this calmly without letting it affect my peace of mind? Rather than reacting impulsively, you can choose to accept the situation, perhaps understanding that work obligations are important. You could also use this time to relax and enjoy some personal space. Once your partner arrives, you can discuss how you feel without assigning blame, understanding that both of you have different priorities at times. By focusing on your own reactions rather than attempting to control your partner's actions, you create a healthier, more stable environment for the relationship to thrive. By embracing the dichotomy of control, you free yourself from the need to control your partner and allow them the space to be themselves. This creates a more balanced and healthy relationship, as both individuals are not burdened by unrealistic expectations or the stress of controlling one another. Furthermore, this Stoic principle allows you to manage conflicts in a constructive way. When challenges arise, you're able to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively, leading to more positive outcomes in your interactions. Number two, cultivate emotional resilience. Emotional resilience is the ability to withstand life's inevitable ups and downs without letting them overwhelm you. In relationships, this is especially important. When things don't go as planned, it's easy to let frustration, anger, or sadness take over. However, Stoicism teaches us to maintain composure and approach each challenge with calmness, understanding, and strength. Emotional resilience, in the Stoic sense, refers to our capacity to maintain a steady mind in the face of adversity. It's not about suppressing emotions, but learning to respond to them in a way that doesn't lead to unnecessary conflict or stress. For instance, when faced with a difficult situation in a relationship, whether it's a disagreement, disappointment, or betrayal, the Stoic practice is to pause, reflect, and assess the situation calmly. The key here is that while you cannot control what emotions arise in you, you can control how you react to those emotions. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." To cultivate emotional resilience, you must first be aware of your emotions and responses. This involves reflecting on your thoughts and reactions, rather than letting them control you. By practicing mindfulness and self-awareness, you can develop a deeper understanding of your emotional triggers and how to manage them. Imagine your partner forgets a significant event like an anniversary or birthday. Instead of reacting impulsively with anger, you can pause and reflect on why you're feeling hurt. Is it because you feel unappreciated? Is there a deeper need for connection that has been overlooked? By identifying the root of your emotional response, you can better communicate with your partner, allowing them to understand how you feel without escalating the situation. One of the most powerful tools in Stoicism for building emotional resilience is the practice of self-reflection. When emotions run high, it's easy to act on impulse. However, taking a moment to reflect helps us respond with intention rather than reaction. Marcus Aurelius famously advised, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." When faced with a difficult moment, step back and ask yourself, 1. What am I feeling right now? 2. Is my reaction proportional to the situation, or am I overreacting? 3. What can I do to respond thoughtfully instead of emotionally? By reframing situations, you can reduce the emotional charge and approach them with greater clarity and composure. This not only brings stability to your own emotional state, but also helps create a more harmonious relationship dynamic. Let's explore how emotional resilience works in practice. Suppose you and your partner have an argument about household responsibilities. Instead of yelling or withdrawing, a stoic response would be to take a moment to breathe and assess your feelings before responding. Express your concerns calmly and listen to your partner's point of view. Focus on the facts and avoid making it personal. Recognize that both of you may be experiencing stress from outside factors, work, life pressures, and approach the situation with empathy. This method doesn't ignore the emotion. It simply redirects it into a constructive conversation that leads to a solution, rather than creating a cycle of blame and resentment. Another vital aspect of emotional resilience is empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of another person. When your partner's upset, it's easy to become defensive or dismissive, especially when you feel hurt. However, a stoic approach encourages you to listen with empathy, even in moments of conflict. This helps you not only regulate your own emotions, but also strengthens the bond in your relationship. When you empathize with your partner's perspective, it often leads to deeper mutual understanding. You are no longer focused on winning the argument, but on finding a solution together. Empathy fosters a sense of unity, making the relationship more resilient to external stressors. Consider a situation where your partner is dealing with stress at work and takes it out on you, snapping at you during a conversation. Your first instinct might be to become defensive or angry, but a stoic response would be recognizing that their behavior may be driven by stress, not personal animosity, giving them space to vent or offering support rather than retaliating. After the moment has passed, calmly discussing how their words made you feel, but also understanding that external stressors might have contributed to their actions. How do you stay emotionally resilient in difficult situations with your partner? Have you used any Stoic practices to manage your emotions during conflicts? Share your thoughts or experiences in the comments below. Number 3, practice acceptance, not expectation. Unrealistic expectations can create unnecessary tension and disappointment in relationships. In the fast-paced, idealized world of social media and romanticized love stories, we often expect our partners to meet our every need. Stoicism teaches us a different approach: acceptance, not expectation. Expectations often come from our own desires, fantasies, and the way we want our partner to behave. But when we expect our partner to act a certain way or fulfill our emotional needs, we put undue pressure on them and on the relationship itself. This can lead to frustration when reality doesn't align with our idealized version. Epictetus reminded us, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. This Stoic mindset can be applied in relationships as well. Instead of expecting constant validation or perfection, we can embrace a more realistic and accepting view of our partner's actions and limitations. When we let go of rigid expectations, we allow space for true connection. Acceptance is not about settling for less or tolerating poor treatment. Rather, it's about embracing your partner for who they are, flaws and all, and recognizing that their behavior is influenced by many factors, some of which are beyond their control. This includes their past experiences, emotional triggers, and individual values. For example, if your partner isn't as expressive with their emotions as you'd like, rather than feeling hurt or neglected, you can practice acceptance. You might tell yourself, they express love in their own way. It's not a reflection of my worth, but rather a difference in how we communicate. By acknowledging that each person has their own emotional language, you can reduce feelings of frustration and approach the situation with greater understanding. Radical acceptance is a powerful Stoic practice that involves embracing things as they are, rather than fighting against reality. In a relationship, radical acceptance means acknowledging that no partner can be perfect. They will make mistakes, disappoint you, and not always act in ways you desire. But when you fully accept this truth, you can move forward without clinging to resentment or anger. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Reject your sense of injury, and the injury itself disappears." This means that the harm we feel often comes from our own perception of what we think should have happened, not necessarily from the event itself. By accepting the reality of a situation, we free ourselves from unnecessary emotional distress. Imagine you're in a relationship where your partner is not as social or outgoing as you are. Perhaps you feel frustrated because they don't share your enthusiasm for social gatherings or spending time with extended family. Instead of trying to change them, a Stoic approach would encourage you to accept their personality and preferences. You might say to yourself, I accept that my partner is introverted, and that's okay. It doesn't mean they don't love me or value our time together. It simply means we express ourselves differently. By accepting your partner for who they are, rather than trying to force them to meet your expectations, you create an environment where both of you can grow and thrive as individuals. This acceptance leads to greater harmony and a deeper connection in the relationship. Number 4, practice forgiveness. In relationships, conflicts and mistakes are inevitable. A Stoic approach teaches us the importance of forgiveness, not only forgiving others, but also forgiving ourselves. When we hold on to grudges or past wrongs, we carry emotional baggage that prevents us from moving forward and finding peace. Forgiveness, from a Stoic perspective, is not about excusing harmful behavior, but choosing to release the emotional burden of resentment. Holding on to anger or grudges harms our own peace of mind more than anyone else. Seneca, a Stoic philosopher, put it this way: "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself." When we forgive, we free ourselves from the emotional weight of past events. Forgiveness is a way of taking control of our own emotional health, regardless of what others have done. Holding on to resentment only perpetuates negative emotions and creates distance between partners. When we practice forgiveness, we allow ourselves and our partner to move forward. In this way, forgiveness strengthens the bond between two people, fostering a sense of trust and understanding. In relationships, it's also important to practice self-forgiveness. Stoicism teaches that we are not defined by our mistakes, and we can always learn from them. If you have made a mistake, Whether it's an outburst of anger or an unmet expectation, it's essential to forgive yourself, learn from it, and avoid repeating it. Let's say your partner said something hurtful during an argument. If you don't forgive them, that negative energy will fester, potentially damaging your emotional well-being and your relationship. Instead, a Stoic approach would involve 1. Acknowledging that they are human and capable of making mistakes. 2. Understanding that their actions don't define your worth. 3. Choosing to release the resentment, focusing on the present and future, rather than dwelling on past wrongs. This process may take time, but by letting go of past hurts, you open the door to healing and growth. Number 5. Maintain a shared vision and purpose. In every meaningful relationship, having a shared vision and purpose is vital. Without this, it's easy to drift apart, especially as external pressures like work, family, or individual aspirations take precedence. A shared vision brings clarity and strengthens the bond between partners, ensuring both individuals are aligned in their goals and values. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of living a life of purpose and contributing to something greater than oneself, which applies to relationships as well. According to Stoic teachings, our actions should be guided by reason and virtue. Virtue is the excellence of character that leads to a flourishing life, and it's often rooted in our values and beliefs. In relationships, aligning these core values creates a solid foundation that can withstand external challenges. Whether it's mutual respect, commitment to growth, or shared ethical beliefs, having similar values allows partners to navigate life with a sense of unity. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." In relationships, if both partners share a vision of personal growth, mutual respect, and understanding, their collective thoughts and actions will be aligned, making their partnership more resilient. Having a shared purpose doesn't necessarily mean both partners must have identical ambitions, but it does mean that they should support each other's individual pursuits while contributing to a larger shared goal. For example, one partner may prioritize their career, while the other might focus on personal development or family. As long as both are committed to supporting one another's aspirations and find common ground, they can move forward together. A simple practice in this context is setting joint relationship goals. Things like creating more quality time together, supporting each other's growth, or working toward mutual financial or personal goals. By clearly defining a purpose, both partners are less likely to get lost in daily distractions and more likely to build a life they both want to live. In Stoicism, virtue is the highest good, and it's the lens through which we should view our relationships. Courage, wisdom, justice, and temperance are the four cardinal virtues that can help both partners maintain harmony, growth, and stability in their shared purpose. For instance, courage helps both partners face challenges together. Wisdom guides their decision-making and ensures they choose paths that align with their values. Justice fosters fairness and equality within the relationship. Temperance helps to avoid extremes, such as becoming too complacent or overly demanding. By incorporating these virtues into their shared vision, couples can create a balanced, thoughtful approach to their relationship. Let's consider a relationship where both partners share a vision of fostering personal growth. One partner may be working towards furthering their education, while the other is focused on a fitness journey. Even though their specific goals differ, their shared purpose of self-improvement brings them closer together. They support each other by encouraging one another, celebrating milestones, and balancing their individual goals with their relationship's needs. This shared purpose creates an environment where both partners feel valued and motivated to pursue their dreams while strengthening the partnership. Number 6, embrace change and adaptability. Change is inevitable in life and in relationships. People grow, circumstances shift, and external challenges arise. The Stoic attitude toward change is one of acceptance and adaptability. Stoicism teaches that everything in life is transient, and instead of resisting change, we should flow with it and find ways to adapt. This is crucial in relationships, where change is often a constant. The Stoic philosopher Heraclitus famously said, "The only constant in life is change." This means that no matter how stable a relationship may seem at one point, both partners will change over time. This might include shifts in personal interests, values, or external life circumstances. Rather than fearing change, Stoicism encourages us to embrace it. Embracing change in a relationship means letting go of the illusion of control. We cannot stop change from happening, but we can control how we respond to it. The Stoics believe that our reaction to circumstances is what truly defines us. In a relationship, adapting to change requires open-mindedness, flexibility, and a willingness to evolve together as individuals and as partners. In any long-term relationship, there will be moments of transition, whether it's moving to a new city, adjusting to a new job, or raising children. When these transitions occur, it's essential to stay adaptable. Instead of resisting change, a Stoic approach would involve staying calm, keeping a clear mind, and finding ways to grow together. An example of adaptability might be when one partner is offered a job in a different city. The other partner may initially feel uncertain about moving, but by approaching the situation with flexibility and open communication, both individuals can navigate the transition smoothly. They might find new opportunities for growth in the change and learn how to adjust together. One of the most important aspects of adapting to change in a relationship is open communication. When both partners express their feelings, concerns, and expectations about the change, they can make joint decisions that align with their shared goals and values. Stoicism teaches us to be mindful of our communication, ensuring that it is thoughtful, measured, and constructive. Instead of bottling up emotions or making impulsive decisions, Stoicism encourages partners to reflect on their feelings and discuss them calmly, ensuring that both individuals feel heard and supported. Let's say one partner undergoes a significant career change that requires a move to a different location. The couple can embrace the change by having honest discussions about the logistics, emotions, and opportunities it presents. Through mutual support and understanding, they can see this change as an opportunity for growth rather than a disruption to their relationship. Number 7, develop patience and self-control. In relationships, patience and self-control are indispensable. The modern world often pushes us toward immediate gratification, whether it's a quick solution to a disagreement or instant validation from social media. However, true stability in relationships comes when we can resist the urge to react impulsively and instead take time to reflect before responding. Stoicism teaches us to develop self-control by training our minds to remain calm and thoughtful in challenging situations. Patience allows us to avoid knee-jerk reactions that can damage our relationships. Whether it's waiting for your partner to open up, taking the time to resolve a conflict, or giving each other space to grow, patience plays a crucial role in fostering a healthy dynamic. Seneca wrote, "No man is free who is not master of himself." This encapsulates the essence of Stoic self-control. When we exercise patience and resist the urge to react, we assert control over our emotions and behavior. This self-mastery makes us less likely to say things we'll regret or to escalate conflict unnecessarily. In a relationship, disagreements are inevitable. Whether you're dealing with a small misunderstanding or a major conflict, it's easy to let frustration or anger cloud your judgment. Stoicism encourages us to approach these situations with self-control, allowing us to pause and reflect before reacting. When you feel anger rising in the middle of a conversation with your partner, practicing self-control means taking a deep breath, stepping away if necessary, and allowing time for reflection. By doing so, you give yourself the space to respond thoughtfully rather than react emotionally. Imagine you and your partner are having a disagreement about finances. Your initial reaction might be to defend your position aggressively or raise your voice. However, applying Stoic principles of patience and self-control would involve 1. Acknowledging your emotions, feeling upset or frustrated is normal. 2. Taking a brief moment to calm down, perhaps stepping away from the conversation or taking a few deep breaths. 3. Coming back to the conversation with a clear and open mind, focusing on understanding your partner's perspective and calmly explaining your point of view. This approach diffuses tension and prevents the argument from spiraling into something more damaging. It encourages productive dialogue rather than defensive reactions. Patience also plays a significant role in personal growth within a relationship. Often we expect quick results, whether in terms of resolving issues, achieving shared goals, or seeing immediate change in our partner's behavior. But change takes time, And Stoicism teaches us to embrace this process. Rather than expecting perfection or immediate results, patience helps us understand that growth is gradual. When we develop patience, we not only improve our own character, but also foster a more understanding and supportive environment for our partner's growth. How do you practice patience and self-control in your relationship? Do you find it difficult to maintain composure during conflicts? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Number 8, focus on what you can control. A central tenet of Stoicism is the distinction between what is within our control and what is not. In relationships, this concept is incredibly valuable. We cannot control how our partner behaves, feels, or reacts. However, we can control our own thoughts, actions, and responses. One of the core teachings of Stoicism is understanding that there are things within our control and there are things outside our control. Epictetus famously said, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." This means that in a relationship, while we can't control how our partner acts or feels, we have complete control over how we respond. If your partner is upset, for example, it's not in your control to change their feelings. However, it is in your control to approach the situation with empathy, patience, and understanding. When we focus on what we can control, it reduces feelings of helplessness and frustration. In the context of a relationship, this might involve focusing on how we can improve our own behavior, communication, or support for our partner, rather than trying to control their actions or emotions. For example, if you're in a relationship with someone who is going through a tough time, you can't control their emotions or the pace at which they heal. However, you can control how supportive and understanding you are during that time. By focusing on your own actions, you free yourself from the frustration of trying to manage what's beyond your control. Let's say your partner is going through a challenging work period and is distant or stressed. The Stoic approach would be to acknowledge that you can't control their stress or how they manage it. Instead, focus on being supportive without expecting anything in return. You might say to yourself, "I can offer my support, but I cannot take away their stress. How I respond, however, is entirely within my control." By focusing on your response, you avoid the frustration of trying to change circumstances beyond your control, and you create a space of understanding and compassion. Number 9, build trust through consistency. Trust is the cornerstone of any strong relationship, and it is built over time through consistent actions. Stoicism teaches that to be a person of integrity and honor, we must consistently align our actions with our values. In relationships, this means being dependable and honest with your partner, even when it's challenging. Trust is often broken when words and actions don't align. A person may promise one thing but fail to follow through, leading to feelings of betrayal or disappointment. By maintaining consistency, you demonstrate that your words and actions are aligned, and your partner can rely on you to act with integrity. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." In the context of relationships, this means that even when conflicts arise or mistakes are made, our actions should consistently reflect respect, honesty, and commitment. Building trust doesn't require grand gestures. Rather, it's about consistent, everyday actions. Whether it's keeping promises, being open and honest about your feelings, or showing your partner that you care through small acts of kindness, consistency builds a strong foundation of trust. If you tell your partner you'll do something, follow through on that promise. If you commit to spending quality time together, make sure you prioritize that. By being reliable, you show your partner that they can trust you, which strengthens the relationship. Suppose you and your partner are dealing with an issue where one of you tends to forget important dates or promises. The Stoic approach would be to acknowledge the mistake and consistently show through action that you can be relied upon. Over time, your partner will begin to trust that you are dependable and committed to making the relationship work. How do you build and maintain trust in your relationship? Are there ways you can be more consistent in your actions? Let us know in the comments below. Number 10, practice gratitude and appreciation. Gratitude is an essential aspect of any stable relationship. It may seem simple, but practicing gratitude on a daily basis can create a profound impact on how we interact with our partners and how we perceive our relationship. In the Stoic tradition, Gratitude is not just about being thankful for the good things in life, but also for the challenges that help us grow. This attitude of appreciation fosters a deep sense of connection and nurtures the stability of a relationship. The Stoics believed that a grateful heart is a key to tranquility. Seneca expressed this beautifully when he wrote, "A grateful mind is a great mind, which eventually attracts to itself great things." Gratitude, according to Stoicism, isn't just about being thankful for what we have, but understanding that everything, whether perceived as good or bad, has something to teach us. When we apply this to our relationships, it encourages us to appreciate not only the joys, but also the difficulties. This balance of gratitude can prevent the relationship from stagnating and allows both individuals to grow. Practicing gratitude can be as simple as expressing thanks for your partner's small acts of kindness or acknowledging their contributions to your shared life. In our busy, fast-paced world, it's easy to take our partner's efforts for granted. Stoicism teaches us to slow down and recognize these gestures of goodwill. For instance, a simple thank you after your partner prepares a meal or makes an effort to support you during a tough time can go a long way. Expressing your appreciation creates a positive feedback loop. Your partner feels valued, and in return, they are more likely to engage in behaviors that strengthen the relationship. In difficult moments, gratitude can feel especially challenging, but it's precisely during these times that it is most powerful. Rather than focusing solely on the negative aspects of a problem or conflict, practicing gratitude helps us reframe the situation and see it in a different light. Stoicism encourages us to view challenges as opportunities for growth, and gratitude enables us to embrace them rather than resent them. For example, if your partner is going through a tough time, instead of focusing on the stress or burden it may place on you, try practicing gratitude for the opportunity to support them. This shift in perspective allows you to approach the situation with more empathy and understanding, creating a stronger bond. Stoic philosophy teaches us that every experience, positive or negative, is an opportunity for personal and mutual growth. By practicing gratitude for the lessons learned through both the joys and struggles of your relationship, you cultivate a sense of appreciation for your partner as a guide and companion on your life journey. A couple might face a difficult time when one partner loses their job, but practicing gratitude during such times can help shift the focus. Rather than getting bogged down by the stress or uncertainty, both partners can be grateful for their ability to support each other and strengthen their bond through adversity. Let's say you and your partner are navigating a particularly challenging period, such as the illness of a family member or a significant financial setback. The Stoic approach would be to take a step back and express gratitude for the strength you both share in overcoming hardships. While facing these obstacles, acknowledging the support and love you give one another can make a difficult time feel more bearable. Practicing gratitude could involve a nightly ritual where you both share something you're grateful for that day. This could be as simple as acknowledging your partner's presence during stressful moments, their care and thoughtfulness, or their resilience in facing difficulties. By actively practicing gratitude, you shift the focus from what's lacking to what's abundant in the relationship. Finding stability in modern relationships can be challenging, but applying the principles of Stoicism can help you build a foundation that is strong, resilient, and nurturing. By focusing on what you can control, practicing patience, embracing change, and showing gratitude, you can create a relationship that thrives in any circumstance. Remember, it's not about achieving perfection. Rather, it's about consistent growth, mutual respect, and a shared commitment to the journey. As you navigate your relationships, keep in mind that the obstacles you face can be transformed into opportunities for personal and relational growth. Stoicism reminds us that every challenge is an opportunity to develop virtue and deepen our connections. When both partners approach each other with understanding, adaptability, and appreciation, they lay the groundwork for a lasting, stable relationship. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe to the Powerful Stoic Way, leave a comment with your thoughts, and share your experiences with Stoic principles in relationships. Together, we can continue to build lives and relationships that are grounded in strength and wisdom.